Okay, so this is a video of me explaining what happens during a sun mahadasha. So y'all should have already seen what the hell are mahadashas. So the planetary time cycle of sun is 6 years, and basically I really don't have much to say about this dasha, or I probably won't have much to say about any of the following dasha videos that I make, because it really comes down to assessing a person's whole chart to see specifically what the hell will happen to them. These little things that I'm about to tell you, they will not really probably resonate with you unless I know your exact sign, nakshatra, house, and what's aspecting it. But what I'm saying is like a quarter of what will actually happen to you during your dasha, you know. But naturally, the things that will happen to you during your sun dasha are the things that are significators of the sun, which is you will deal with issues potentially concerning the father or father figure in your life, authority figures like bosses or the government, people in positions of leadership and power. You could deal with issues and stuff pertaining to them. You yourself could easily become more maybe aggressive and masculine and assertive and outspoken, since sun is the significator of a father, which is maybe stereotypically a masculine figure. Whatever your ideal image of a father or a man is, you might start to behave and portray yourself more as an outspoken, masculine, assertive individual, whether you're man or woman or whatever. You just probably be a little bit more outspoken, like, this is who I am, this is me. Because sun represents the soul, sun represents your ego, and is one of the core important parts of you, where it represents your personality. So you'll start showing you more. You'll like to start revealing you and yourself more to the world. What else can I say about the sun? We'll look at my notes real quick, because like I said, sun doesn't really represent too much except for the father figures, authority figures, and other such things, you know. You might want to check on the health of your father if if he's present in your life. But like I said, to specifically see what might happen to you during your sun dasha, you want to look, it depends on what area if you want to look at. If you want to maybe see things in relation to maybe like your father, of course you might want to look at the birth chart. And you probably want to look at the birth chart, the D12 chart, since that's a chart specifically dealing with parents, and maybe the D30 chart, which is the Trim Samsha chart, which deals with like don't quote me on this because it's so many damn divisional charts, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the D30 chart deals with like maybe like issues, like maybe health issues or psychological issues. But main thing I'll probably look at from my amateur perspective, you look at the birth chart and you probably look at the D12 chart to maybe assess things in relation to the father, or the D45 chart, because the D45 chart is the chart that talks about the father, I believe, and the D40 chart is a deeper dissection of the mother. But yeah, by looking at various divisional charts, you can come up with your own analysis of what might happen to your father during this time period by looking at those charts in the sun. To see a greater detail what might happen to you during your sun dasha, aside from looking at the sun and the nakshatra and the house, of course, you gotta look at 3 different lagnas. You always have to look at these 3 different lagnas when you are assessing what will happen during the dasha of any planet. So the first lagna, you will look at the birth ascendant, your birth chart. You see where your sun is at in your birth chart, and you see what house is in, what sign is in, what's aspecting it, and that will be part of what you will be facing through the 6 years of your sun dasha. Then to the second dasha the second lagna you should look at is the moon lagna, the moon ascendant. You make moon your ascendant, and you go and see where is sun falling at in your birth chart, and you go see what the hell is happening. And then lastly, you make sun your ascendant. This is known as dasha lagna. Dasha lagna is when you take the planet that you are currently running the mahadasha of, and you make that planet your ascendant. So you will make that planet, the sun in this case, your ascendant, and you will look at the chart from that whole perspective. And by looking at your chart from those three perspectives, you will gain a general understanding of the things that you might face. And it is a lot to look at, and it is a lot to assess. So from the moon chart, because I've made a video already explaining the importance of the big three, the sun, the ascendant, and the moon chart will show, you know, how you think, how you feel, how you'll think about things, how you feel of things, how you'll react to things, because the mind controls the body, which contains the soul. So the moon in the moon chart is of great importance, especially in Vedic astrology, Vedic sidereal astrology. The moon is of great importance. So, you know, the moon is based upon the nakshatras, which means lunar mansions, I believe. And the Vimshotri dasha system is based upon, you know, the nakshatras. And like I just told you, the nakshatras are based upon the moon. So the moon is very important in Vedic sidereal astrology. So the moon represents our mind and emotions. So by looking at things from the moon chart, you'll get to see how you may feel and react to things during this time period. And by looking at things from the birth chart, your birth ascendant is the physical body. It represents the things that will be coming to you, the things that you will deal with. So the birth chart shows the things that you will deal with, and the moon chart shows how you react and think and feel about those things. And the sun chart just represents, you know, some of the significance of the sun, which is your soul, and it shows what the soul will go through. It shows the things that the soul will have to deal with and go through during this period. So by using those three different lugnas and my complicated, but I hope wasn't too complicated way of explaining things, you'll get a general understanding of what to look at and what to expect during your sun period. And then of course you also got to pay attention to the sub periods, the antardashas and whatnot, you know. Look at the sub periods of the you know, the sub periods and what planet you'll be under the influence of. But mainly, just to not confuse yourself, focus on the mahadasha and the antardasha. Those are the main two major periods you want to look at to get a general understanding of what the hell you'll be going through during these periods. But you most definitely need to have a general background and understanding and foundation of astrology to be able to better assess what the hell you'll personally go through during your dashas without looking at my videos, or else you'll have to run to an astrologer and have to look at your chart and ask them, hey, what can I expect during this period? But that's all I have to say for the sun mahadasha of what you'll go through. I hope this gave you some clarity and understanding of what might happen during the sun dasha period and how you can go look for yourself to go see what will specifically happen to you. And I'll see you when I make my next video.